Hello students, so we'll go to the next algorithm for the same second problem, that is shortest remaining time first. So in the exam either they can ask you SRTF or SRJF, that is time first or job first, or they can also ask preemptive SJF. So remember SRTF or preemptive SJF. Preemptive means you can stop in between, so you can stop and check whether there are any other processes who in this case SJF, that is when you say SJF you have to check for the burst time. When you say priority you have to check for the priorities. This is SJF, so we are not worried about priority. This part is not required for us. We are only concerned with arrival time and burst time. Okay, so since arrival time is given to you in this question, so we have to consider according to the arrival time we are going to take the process and give it to CPU. In case if arrival time was not given, okay, suppose your question was only this much, you have jobs, you have burst time, even priority is not there, suppose only this much was your question, then in this case what you have to do here is you have to write a statement as assume arrival time equal to 0 millisecond. Okay, you have to write that statement. So what is the meaning of that? All the processes or jobs have come in together. Okay, so in such case what you have to do, you just have to see the burst time. So this is shortest time first or shortest job first. What is the meaning of that? Whichever job is having smallest burst time. Burst time means how much time it requires to complete its execution. Whichever is having smallest burst time, that particular process you're taking and giving the CPU. Okay, so if arrival time was not given, what you would have done or what you should do, you should see the burst time. According to the burst time, which is having the smallest burst time? J3. So allowing J3 to execute. Okay, after that, which will be the next one? You have J2 and you have J4, both are having the same burst time. So in that case what you have to do, whichever has come first, like that way. Okay, but in this particular problem you have the arrival time, so we will see how to solve this. So at time 0, you have only one job, that is J1, which is present in your system. So we have to give the CPU to J1. Okay, so J1 takes how many milliseconds to complete? 6 milliseconds to complete. But this is preemptive. Preemptive means you have to stop and check. Where you're going to stop and check? The next arrival time. So after J1, next process comes in at what time? 3. So at third millisecond you have to stop and check. What you have to stop and check? Which other process has come in? J2, J3. You have two processes coming in, that is J2 and J3. So we have to check the remaining time here. Okay, so J1 it was taking 6 millisecond, but out of that 3 millisecond it has executed here. So pending is only 3 milliseconds. J2 takes how many milliseconds to complete? 5. J3 takes 3 milliseconds to complete. So in this case you can see here you have J1 and you have J3, both are having the same burst time. So this kind of situation you are going to first come first serve. So according to that, which one will be executed? You are allowing J1 to execute. J1 to execute. So how much is remaining in J1? 3 millisecond is remaining. If you allow it to execute for 3 millisecond, it will go up to 6, but you cannot do that. What you have to do, at 5 you have the next process coming in, so at 5 you have to stop and check. So J1, how much is pending? J1, 1 is pending. J2 will be 5. J3 will be 3. And J4 coming in is 5. So out of that, smallest one is J1. So you are allowing J1 to execute. Okay, so now J1 is completed. So at 6 millisecond you have J2 5, J3 3 and J4 5. So you are at 6th millisecond. At 6th millisecond what happened? All the processes have already come into the system. So now not required for you to stop and check every now and then. Now what you have to do? Simply check the burst time. Just check the burst time. Whoever is having the smallest burst time, allow that particular job to execute. So according to that, J3 is having the smallest burst time. So allow J3 to execute. It requires 3 milliseconds. So 6 plus 3 means it will go up to 9. At 9 you have J2 5 and you have J4 5. So both are having the same burst time. So in that case, go for SCFS. So according to that, J2 will be executed first. Okay, 9 plus 5 means it goes up to 14, and last remaining is J4. So it will go up to 19. Just verify, add all this, even here you get 19. Okay, so now we are calculating the waiting time. So waiting time for J1, J2, J3 and J4. J1 came in at 0. Came in at 0. Again it got at what time? 0. So 0 minus 0 means 0 millisecond. Is J1 there again? No. Next J2 came in at 3 millisecond. Okay, came in at 3 millisecond. Got at 6 millisecond. Okay, so 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is 3 millisecond. Next J3. J3 came in at 3, oh sorry, J2, right? Okay. J2 came in at 3 millisecond, got it where? 9 millisecond. So smaller number. So you have to go larger number minus smaller number. So J2 came in at 3 millisecond, got at 9 millisecond. So 9 minus 3, that is 6 millisecond. Next J3 came in at 3, got at 6. So 6 minus 3, that is 3 millisecond. J4 came in at 5, got at 14. So 14 minus 5. So 9, right? Okay. So therefore average waiting time will be 0 plus 6 plus 3 plus 9, those many divided by 4. Okay, so just calculate this, those many milliseconds. Next is turnaround time. What's the formula for turnaround time? Burst time plus waiting time. So J1, J2, J3, J4. Burst time is already given in the question, that is 6, 5, 3, 5. Waiting time 0, 6, 3, 9. 14, 9, 11, 6. So therefore average turnaround time is equal to 6 plus 11 plus 9 plus 14 divided by 4. So those many milliseconds. Calculate it and write. This is how you have to do your SRTF. So if you are perfect with Gantt chart, then calculating this waiting time and all won't be a problem. So don't get confused over here. So this part is only for a reference. Okay, can write in pencil in the exam. So the main thing what you have to remember, preemptive and non-preemptive. First thing you have to remember that whether I have to check every now and then or whether I have to allow that process to execute completely. Then based on the algorithm, whether it is SJF or priority. So in SJF what you have to see the burst time. But if it was priority, you have to see priority. Okay. So please don't get confused with all this problem. Solve it, you will understand. Thank you.